How's it going out there? Happy New Year. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. Today, I just wanted to cover a topic that was interesting from the last released chapter, 1071. Who's coming to save Vegapunk? Now, we all saw in the last chapter, Vegapunk made a call, and he was pretty direct in his asking for help. Please come save me. They're coming for me. And the answer from the shadowy Denden Mushi was very clear that, yeah, we're coming to help you. We knew this was coming all along. I want to take this time to break down what we know about Vegapunk's relationships and see if we can decipher who it is on the other end of that phone. Snail. Based on the conversation we read between Vegapunk and the unknown mystery shadowy Denden Mushi person, we can glean a few clues as to who this person could be. Number one, we know that they are currently hidden. Why? We don't know, but they are hidden away even from the viewer on this island. So they could either be on the island, somewhere close by, but I would assume they're somewhere close enough where help would actually be possible. Number two, they are hiding from the world government, or at least their being hidden allows them to not be in the crosshairs of the government. So they may not necessarily be a wanted person, but should the government find out about them, maybe they will be in trouble that way. And number three, they expected this situation to happen to where they would need to come and rescue Vegapunk. And that's also pretty telling. I think that last one, when you get all three, we can really find out, or at least narrow down, who this mystery person is. So right away, I want to just eliminate any assumptions that it's some other unknown race. Not only is it really too late in the game now to be introducing new characters, new races, new groups, new factions. Come on, we're tired. Like, the Lunarians were like the last race brought to our attention, and we still don't know about the Three-Eyed Tribe and the Long-Armed Tribes and all these other, races that could potentially or not be a major player in this world. And hell, we didn't even learn much more about the Oni race, which is also a very apparently important race in the One Piece world. My first thought was that maybe these are some secret Lunarians. Vegapunk may have a relationship with still live, surviving Lunarians, and that is why he's able to so successfully produce them in his Seraphim, or recreate their traits in the Seraphim, because he has live subjects to test on or to work with, and that's what's going on. Maybe he's working with the Seraphim secretly to replenish their numbers artificially through technology so that they can rise up against the world government. I just thought that was just a cool idea, so my mind started working with it. It does make sense, but the only thing is the prior relationship. We don't know if he has a prior relationship with the Lunarians, but it would make sense. We can speculate that they just came upon him, or they found each other, or he found them with the knowledge that he gained from O'Hara. There's some kind of secret to them being hidden away or something, and he found them, kept it all secret. That's all cool. I feel like Vegapunk could do all of that. Also, I feel like Vegapunk would use that relationship and say, hey, you know what? I've already created the Seraphim. They're under my control. I got the master key. You guys can come on out. We can just probably take the risk right now. So everything is working out. All three of our scenarios work with the Lunarians. I don't, though, think that they are Lunarians, because, I don't know, I just feel like the way that they went on about King being the last one, and then introducing the Seraphim, mentioning that all these previously captured and working for the government Shikibukai were, taking pieces of them and using them in experiments to recreate a new race of people. That's just really good. And then to all of a sudden be like, oh, the Lunarians are not dead. They're actually some hidden ones here all along, would just kind of undercut the impact of these new Seraphim models to come into place. I can't wait till King interacts with them. That is going to be very interesting. I really want to learn more about the Seraphim, but I don't think we're going to learn more from real live Lunarians. So, My next thought was that it could be the Revolutionaries. We know that Vegapunk has a relationship with Dragon, or at least he had a relationship, or is that on a certain level where he can make phone calls, because he's still making phone calls to him today. But that is one of the reasons why I don't think it's the revolutionaries, or at least not Dragon's group of revolutionaries as they are, because they just got off the phone. So He probably could have said, hey, we may be in trouble, we need some help. But it could be another group of revolutionaries that is close by, because I don't really think that New Kamabaka Queendom is anywhere close to Egghead Island, and it would be quite a journey to get all the way over there to help him. Vegapunk is smart enough to know not to call them. So maybe a smaller faction of revolutionaries. It would make sense that he has a relationship with them because he has an established relationship with Dragon. He knows about the revolutionaries. It also makes sense that they would want to stay hidden and not involve themselves with the government because maybe their location is secret, and they also are very skeptical. They're ready to go to war, I'm sure. They're motivated. So them expecting this call from Vegapunk is not out of the question. But it's not anywhere close to the motive that my last guess is. Now, the number one person I think is on the other end of that Dendenmushi is Jaguar D. Saul. And it makes a lot of sense. Maybe the shadowy part is not shadowy at all. It's the burnt part. Him being referred to as the burned man may make sense, even though he got frozen by ice, but he also was frozen on ice on an island that was getting fire blasted. So makes sense why he would be all burned up. And his Dendenmushi might look like him all burned up. So that would just be the answer right there. But also we know that Vegapunk has an established relationship with Jaguar D. Saul and the Giants because he went to Elbaf to gain the knowledge of Ohara and study those books to memorize everything. So it would make sense that he actually keeps his relationship with the Giants after the fact. I mean, of course he would. He's a man of science. I'm sure he wants to study them and to just help them in any way he can, learn from them, and do experiments on them, maybe on the sneak. Nice, you know, as long as they agree to the terms or whatever. Healthy experiments, but testing their limits. Who knows? It's like there's so much information that he could gain just by hanging out with the Giants. Of course he's going to create a nice relationship, and he's a pretty interesting dude and neat to have around, so it would make sense that they would want to keep him in their good graces as well. So it's a very good relationship that I can see them forming, okay? And I'm sure that allows him to be a little bit more confident doing his crazy experiments and kind of slipping outside of the boundaries of what the world government wants from him. Another reason that we know that it could be them, or that I believe it is them, is because they have every right to be hidden from the government. We saw how Carmel was using this island as a place to kind of keep her goods, her little children, her lost children, and then sell them to the government to be turned into soldiers, especially some giants. And like, this was a terrible practice, but that was probably one of the weird things. They were like, look, y'all do that, you know, the giants were probably like, look, y'all do that on your side of the island. I won't mess with you. Leave us out of it. Don't come after any of our kids. There won't be no problems. But we all know that the world government cannot stand a threat to their power. An army of giants on the sea somewhere is a threat. So I'm sure that the numbers of giants are vastly reduced, and they are kept relatively safely away from everywhere else as to not be a threat. There are still giants in the Navy. Maybe that's some part of their exchange too. Hey, give us a couple of giants to bolster our ranks and we'll leave y'all alone. So this relationship may be coming to a close because we see the world government growing in power through technology, through Vegapunk's help, of course, and also attempting to through Caesar trying to create giants with those little experiments on those kids, which ultimately failed. And maybe they're just like, you know what, we can't make giants of our own, we can't control the giants, let's just probably get rid of the giants whenever they feel like. So it also, that also makes sure that we fill in that last clue, that they would expect this from the world government. They know that it's just a matter of time before the world government comes in to just kind of finish off the giants. Maybe they're expecting it because they're old. They know a lot more about this world than we do because they live longer. They live, what, 300 years? So just 3 generations ago, this world ending happened. That's like your grandma telling you about her childhood, about what happened in her childhood, which, I mean, if you all are blessed to have a grandma, then you know that happens all the damn time. That's a pretty regular thing. Grandma's gonna tell it like it was, okay? Because that's their claim to fame. It's a little bit brighter now when they look back into those days. So these giants know firsthand, probably from their parents or their parents' parents, what really happened. And that's also a threat. These giants, we're gonna see, of course, Elbaf was also mentioned in this chapter, so we know that they're planting that in our head. Hey, Elbaf, you know, it's just giving you all of these little things to remind you that these giants are coming back into the story. And they may play one of the biggest roles in all of this. It's already assumed that Joy Boy from the past was a giant. Maybe the whole world was run by giants, and humans kind of just came up later and took over, or came from another planet and took over, but that's a theory for another day. So those are my thoughts. That's who I think is at the other end of that Din Din Mushi. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is on the other end? What are we going to see on Elbaf? What is Vegapunk going to do? Are we going to get off of this island with all Vegapunks intact, except for already Atlas is kind of down, so the rest of them intact? Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe so you can get more of these videos every week, and thank you for being here. Peace.